Hi everyone, Sarah Santa Ana, Move for Free Realty, and I am here to talk about how to construct an offer. Okay, the first thing that we're going to do is obviously if we're writing an offer, we have a property in mind. Just to let you know as well, it's always going to be the buyer's agent that constructs the offer. Maybe there's a rare situation where the listing agent would prepare the offer, or perhaps if the listing agent is doing a dual representation, it would make sense. But 90% of the time, it's going to be the buyer's agent. So let's just say you have a buyer and they want to take a look at some properties and they decide, I've randomly pulled up this property, 9217 Bayberry Avenue. Okay, I chose this one because it's here in Manassas local, and it's a potential short sale. So I wanted to show you that. And also the year built was 1978. A lot of people say to me, well, it's built in 1978. That doesn't mean it needs lead-based paint. It's anything before 78. While I agree with your statement, it's better to be safe than sorry. So even in the year 1978, I still provide a disclosure. Remember, it's better to disclose than not disclose. So again, if you have the year 1978, let's just go ahead and throw the lead-based paint disclosure in there. All right, so your client wants to put this offer together. The first thing that I'm going to want you to do is pull up your forms checklist. Now, they are all over our office. They are in your field guide, which hopefully you'll have put together at this point. And you can also find them on the forum. So there's lots, and of course right here in this video. So you're going to see the buyer's checklist. This is what the form looks like. Now you can see we have 2 columns for short sale, 2 columns for regular sale. Obviously, it would make sense that there is a, let me just shut these, sorry. It would make sense there's lead base and there's non-lead base. Now our particular one is going to be lead base short sale. So these are the forms that we're going to need in order to write an offer. Now hopefully you've already got your exclusive right to represent the buyer already signed, because remember, before you show any properties, you should have that exclusive right to represent signed. Okay, so hopefully you already have that. Other than that, you're going to need to print out all of these particular files, and of course the lender letter will come from the lender, and the copy of the escrow check will come from the client. And when I say copy of escrow check, that just means the copy is delivered to the other agent, the listing agent, with the offer. But you should have an actual check in your hand. In fact, I prefer certified funds. That is our policy. It is only on the exception that we accept a check. And if you do accept a check, make sure you try to get a certified funds within that 5 days. If you can't, then we just deposit the check. Okay? So again, this saves your buyer from any bounce check fees, because once you have the bounce check, you can't get a loan. So if they're giving us a copy of check and then they end up bouncing it, which I can't tell you how often happens, whether the money didn't get wired quick enough or whatever, it doesn't really matter what the excuse is. If they have a bounce check in their checking account, they do not qualify for a loan. Number 2, if they have a bounce check, I'm not going to be paying the bounce check fee. It's not my responsibility. So that would be your responsibility to collect from them. And if you don't collect from them, then unfortunately you're going to have to pay it for them. It's the cost of doing business, right? So make sure that you get the certified funds. All right, and of course you're going to deliver a copy of those certified funds to the listing agent. All right, so now you're going to say, all right, well, now I know which forms I'm going to be using. And by the way, please scroll down to the bottom of the sheet. There might actually be additional addendums. Was this property on well and septic? Well, I don't even know. Let's go and check. Let's scroll down here in MRIS, and let's see what MRIS says. MRIS says public sewer, public water, and public sewer. So no, we do not have well and septic, so we don't have to worry about that. Does this particular listing say that we have to do as is? Well, that's a great question. Let's scroll up and take a look here. Back in the market, deal fell through. I can't risk another withdrawal. So there, this one says subject. It doesn't say anything about as is. So that's a good thing. Usually it would say home is sold as is, and they would require the as is addendums. Always remember to check this view documents page, because they may actually have uploaded the disclosures as they should in MRIS. And it looks like for this particular listing, there is no disclosures, which uploaded, which is fine. We're just going to have to fill out the disclosures ourselves. I don't see any as is, so I'm going to cross that one off as well. Is your buyer planning to move in early, or is the seller wanting a rent back again? You can always call and ask these questions. Home inspection removal will be done later on in the transaction. Condo HOA docs receipt, again, later on in the transaction. If they're not planning to get a home inspection, you want to get them the for your protection, get a home inspection contract. All right, and if it's a release, well, we're just making an offer, so there will be no releases going on. Okay, so we're going to go back here, and these are the forms we're going to be looking up. Okay, we're going to print them all out. Hopefully you already have this one, and of course you don't need to print these two out. So let's go over to our contracts. I'm going to go to Instanet, okay, Instanet Forms. We're going to click the login button. And I'm going to start a new transaction. This time I'm going to put Bayberry offer. And guess what, guys? We got an MLS number. Now, don't tell this guy I'm putting together an offer, or he'll be expecting it. All right, let's go up here and paste. This is great because MRIS it'll pull the data from MRIS. My goodness, what just happened here? I don't know what just happened. Let's try that again. Oops. All right, let's go and just say I'm the selling agent. Let's start this transaction. All right, so this is how to construct the proper offer. Well, you got to add your forms. Okay, if we're adding the proper forms, what are we going to do? We're going to go to Northern Virginia forms. Yours probably doesn't have all of these because I'm a member of DC, Maryland, Virginia. All right, so let's go down the row and let's look them. Property disclosure form. So that property disclosure form is going to be right here. Residential property disclosure statement. Next one I have is, hopefully you already have this one, but if you don't, let's just go ahead and add it. So let's go down. Exclusive right. Now remember to hold your control button, or if you're on a Mac like I am, you can hold the command exclusive right to represent that buyer. Or it might be shift on a regular computer. Regional sales contract. Let's scroll down. Let's look for that regional sales contract. Here we go. Home inspection addendum. All right, let's scroll back up. Now remember, this is the home inspection removal addendum, so don't use that one. You want the home inspection addendum. Okay? Virginia jurisdictional, to be used with all sales in the state of Virginia. You'll notice in other jurisdictions, like Maryland especially, they have an addendum for each county. We do not. All right, because this is lead-based paint, we're going to need to add that lead-based paint. So let's go with our lead-based paint. Lead-based paint sales disclosure. If you want to put the federal laws and regulations, you can. I don't usually do that. This one up here is a lead-based paint contract addendum, which means you're testing for lead-based paint. Most people don't test for lead-based paint, but it's certainly their option. Most of them just want the disclosure. Okay, if they tell you they want to test for lead-based paint, you need to add this one as well. Okay. All right, Megan's Law. Anytime you're representing a buyer, you need that Megan's Law. Okay, and now we need to decide, is our buyer getting FHA, VA, or conventional financing? Well, my buyer right now is getting FHA. So I'm going to do FHA financing addendum. Where would you find that out? You're actually going to call the lender or look in the lender letter. The next one is a short sale addendum, because remember, this one that we're looking at is a short sale. Okay, so let's scroll down and look for our short sale. Now remember, there's two here. Short sale addendum to exclusive right to sell? No. Short sale contingency addendum to regional sales contract? Yes. Okay. Oh, whoops, I chose the wrong one here. I meant to do this one. Sorry, guys. Remember at the end of your transaction to print out the walkthrough inspection. My suggestion is when you first get started to go ahead and print all of these out and take a look at them. Understand them, read them. You need to get to know these because you're going to be using them. Okay, so add these selected forms to your transaction. Here we go. This is just my preference, but I always put this one as number 1. Regional sales contract, in my personal opinion, just goes first. All right, yay. So at this point, you can click on them one at a time and fill them all out. Okay, and guys, I'm always here for you. Don't forget it anytime you need me. And always make sure that you upload this MRIS statement, MRIS printout sheet and the tax record into RealtySync once it gets accepted. You guys don't need to upload offers, only ratified contracts. I 100% recommend you keep all offers. However, with us, all I want is the ratified contracts. But you guys need to keep the offers as well in case there's any problems later on. We can have reference of that. And if you want to go ahead and upload as one file, let's just say you're working with John and Mary Doe and they put an offer in for Bayberry Avenue and this one gets accepted, you can create a transaction in RealtySync, and then what you could do is make one file of all the previous offers. That way it's in one spot if you want to do that. Okay? Anyway, okay, hopefully you guys understand how to construct a proper offer. Remember, this is for the buyers. We also have one for the sellers as well, so you need to find these checklists, keep them in your field guide, and always remember, I'm here anytime you need me, okay?